to Arbor Music Hall. We celebrate the amazing life and truly beautiful times of Donner Buckley. Donner was such an amazing, special person. Everyone in this room obviously knows that. And so thank you for coming to be here so we all have a chance to be together, dance, share love and life, and celebrate the life of a really, really amazing person who had such a beautiful soul. Donner touched the lives of so many people, obviously not just everyone in this room, but around the country, around the world, and probably in other worlds and dimensions too. Technically, this is a little known fact I just found out today personally, his name is Donor. It's the German pronunciation, Donor. And everyone, most of them call him Donner or Donnie, and a lot of us in this room call him Uncle. He is someone who meant so much to so many people. He was a son, he was a brother, he was a husband to Lori, he was a partner to his Garita, Mia, and most of all, I think he was a proud father of 4 amazing people, Adene, Ocean, Achilles, and Enza, who are here with us today, and we're so grateful for them to be here with us. Donner was a legend. He was one of a kind. He was a blessing. We're all going to miss him intensely, but as we all know, our love is not going to fade away. He would want us to get right to the music. We all know that, but we just thought we had to say a few things about this guy, and we did want to keep it brief. So, a good friend of ours, Hody, Michelle, Mama Bo, who's right here, she did a little crowdsourcing, used the internet to select some quotes from people and some memories from people. So I'm going to run through that pretty quickly, and then we're going to get into the raffle items, and then we'll get to the music. So, first of all, it was noted that Donner made friends everywhere he went.
That's okay.
His kindness was extended even to strangers. Here's a quote: "First time I met him, he took me into his home, he fed me, and he gave me a place to sleep." And that's probably a quote from one person, but probably an experience of a lot of people in this room. Throughout his life, he was always giving his friends a place to stay if they needed. He was always giving a room for anyone who needed it. He was caring. Here's another quote from someone: "He was my safe place." And that's something that is so important, especially in our scene, especially when you're traveling around the country, for someone to feel like they are your safe place. Another quote: "He was my best friend." There's probably a lot of people here who felt that way. If you had his back, he had yours. It was a two-way street. He was giving, he was generous. He would give you the shirt off his back. Someone told me to say this, probably his pants too. Even if you didn't ask for it. He was accepting, he was forgiving, he was non-judgmental. Donnie loved you unconditionally, which is something that's very rare, again, in the world to feel. That he literally, you could feel that he loved you unconditionally. He was a prankster. He really was. I don't know if he was one of the original pranksters, but he really would have completely fit in. He was fun, he was whimsical, he was silly. He would make you laugh effortlessly. He would make you laugh without even trying. He could make you laugh. He had Donnerisms. He had things he would say, funny sayings and phrases, like, say, chartreuse?
Chartreuse rabbit.
Chartreuse rabbit? That's how I've heard him say, I couldn't even still repeat it. Chartreuse rabbit. And then also a lot of things he would say that were really wise, really profound, deep things. He was one of those people, I remember talking to him sometimes, he's one of those people, he would walk away and later thinking, that must be like hanging out with Bob Dylan. I mean, he would just talk and say things that are profound. He was a teacher, he was a mentor, authentic, genuine, kept coming up. And he taught a lot of us the meaning of family. It was not just with his words, but with his actions. He was loving. He loved people, animals, nature. He really was an inspiration. Real briefly, some of the things that he did. A lot of us probably know this, but also shamelessly plug for the raffle that Kay's going to tell us about. He was a great artist. He was a woodcutter. He would walk into his apartment or his house. He would be blown away by the art that he had. And really to be stunned, first of all, to look at it, and then ask him, where did it come from? And when he told you he made it all, it probably took me 2 or 3 visits to honestly believe it, that he made it all. But he would continuously work on that and improve that craft. He was an arborist. He was a trained arborist, actually would be working up on trees. I ran into someone, not like a friend of ours, who was actually professionally, Donnie and I had spoken to this person, and this person said to me, your friend Donnie, he's interesting. And I said, yeah, he really is. And then they said, well, it came up what he does for a living, and what he did for a living is that he works for a tree company. And my friend, who was a sharp, wise person, said, yeah, he's up in the trees, isn't he? He's up in the trees. And I said, yes, he's up in the trees. But seriously though, it's a serious business, and he did well. He employed people, he had a business, and he was able to put food on his children's table through that. He was obviously a musician. He loved playing the guitar. He wrote songs. Some of them are not necessarily appropriate in their titles, but there is one that I guess is appropriate enough. It's been discussed by committee. His latest title was "Let Me Watch You Wash Your Fruit."
Yeah.
And that really is tough. He loved fishing. He loved to be outside in nature. Rumor is he rode his bike across the country at age 16. Further part of that rumor, it was to chase an older woman. He lived in Costa Rica, rebuilding houses after a hurricane. He worked on Fish Crew. He was a stagehand way back in the 90s. It says way back in the 90s here, but I don't think that's accurate. It just means in the 90s. But he worked on Fish Crew. He loved music. He loved dancing. He could light up a room and light up this dance floor, which he did many, many times. In particular, obviously, our music, the Grateful Dead, Fish. He saw countless shows. He was one of those people you could really rely on when you went to a show, especially if you went by yourself, to turn around, look around, and you would see Donnie. And he knew how to have a good time. He really did.
Good guy.
He really knew how to have a good time. So he was grateful, though, for all of his friends. He was someone who literally, no matter how much he brought the party, you could tell he was grateful to you for coming to the party. And he really made you feel special. Even though he really was like making the whole party. Like I would walk out, you don't need me here to have a party, but he really felt like he was grateful to have you there. But honestly, and if you spend any time with Donner, you would know, you would hear him talk about this. The thing he was most proud of, the thing that was most important in his life, was his 4 children. His 4 children, Adne, Ocean, Achilles, and Enza. Honestly, everyone in this room, he talked about you guys all the time. He loved you guys. He was so proud of you guys. And he wasn't really a church-going guy, but I think that thought, the idea of his 4 kids, what he has left here behind in the physical form, is probably the best way to segue into, if we could just do a brief moment of silence. And now Pat's going to talk about the raffle story.
All right, Pat.
Thanks again. Can you guys hear me? I'm not a good microphone person. All right, good. Thanks again to everyone for coming. This is really, it's a beautiful thing to see all these people who love this man so much come together to celebrate his life in a way that he would want. And so part of the reason we're here today is to raise some money for his kids to help them out. They got 2 kids in college now. Adne and Ocean just got accepted to college. So they're going to have, Adne's already in college. They have expenses they're going to need some help with. So in addition to celebrating Donnie's life, having a dance party and having fun tonight, we wanted to raise some money for the kids. So we got a raffle, also some auction items. I'm just going to explain this real quick so you guys get an idea of what's going on. So the auction items are the 3 posters that are hanging up on the first table out there. There's a Steve Kimmock and Friends Fall 2021 tour poster that's signed by Steve Kimmock. There's a Golden Gate Wingmen December 2019 tour poster that's signed by Jeff Chimenti and Reed Mathis. And then there's a Golden Gate Wingmen Spring 2018 Tour limited edition poster signed by the artist Jeff Trollbell. So there's auction sheets there next to each item with a list and clipboard. So make sure if you're going to bid on an item, it's minimum bid of $10 increments. So write your name, write your phone number so we can contact you, and write your bid on the sheet for the item that you want to bid on. For the raffle items, there's bags next to each item. So you buy your raffle tickets from the table. You take all your raffle tickets, you keep half of them on the one side. The other side, you put one ticket or however many tickets you want in each bag for that according item. So you can bid on specific items with your raffle tickets. At the end of the night, we're going to draw ticket winners at like 8:40 or 8:45. Okay, so make sure you guys get your raffle tickets purchased and in the bags before 8:45. We're going to staple the winning ticket numbers to the bags. We're not going to waste time announcing the raffles, each one by one so we can have more music. So at the end of the night, make sure to check the bags with the winning numbers on them. And talk to us if you're the winner. Hang around at the end of the night and make sure you pick up your item. Same thing with the auction. I think that's it for the raffles. All right, so now we're going to bring up Adne Buckley.
It's super special. Adne is going to come up. She decided that she was going to read, I think, her daughter's book?
One of daughter's poems, yeah.
Yeah, so Adne is going to come up here.
I'm going to read a poem my dad wrote before I was born. I found it in his things. I've seen the lower 48 one step at a time. I'm here to tell you, brother, they're not in a straight line. From Maine to Montana, from Saratoga to Santa Cruz, planes, trains, buses, and bikes, hitchin' and bitchin', and a sad excuse for a car. There are freaks, geeks, and some people I'd like to forget. I've been up, then down. I've smiled, and I've frowned. The sun comes up, the sun goes down. This tends to be the same in any little town. The downtown bustle, the uptown hustle. Every city has its opposites. The choice you make is the path you take, even if it doesn't seem important at the time. Reflecting on the past, man, did I have a blast. From the city to the towns, to the mountains and open grounds. When a meal is a deal and you have to get in the mix to get a fix, I've lived a lot, but in too many places. You can't love enough, try to count the faces. Can you figure out life? Please, could you tell me? If it's all too much, man, I don't know what to tell you. Life goes by way too fast, so hold on for the ride. Sometimes you're right on top, other times you slide. What might be right for you might not be good for me. Find your own path, my friend. The rest, just let it be. Thugs and drugs, doggy chase your tail, a dead-end street for those in need of bail. Day by day, or sit around in decay, everyone's got their own cross to bear.
All right. So now we're just going to bring up a band. Tip your bartenders. And I've always wanted to say this from stage. If you get confused, listen to the music play.